up, everybody? Welcome to a Let's Talk Live. Today I have a special guest with me, Trey Vito. Trey Vito, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How's everybody out there?
Okay,
How are you
so
doing? How are you doing? Matter of
I'm
fact.
good. I'm good. I'm doing pretty good. So you see the title. Yes, we are talking about Captain America: Brave New World, and the reason why we waited so late is
Hmm.
because I wanted everybody to have a chance to watch it, so we can just do a straight up discussion. So if you haven't watched it, sounds like a personal issue. So that being said, we probably will be dropping sports. We will be talking about different things in this uh, discussion. Um, so you've just seen it, so I just want to get your overall take on the movie, Vito.
um, my overall take, it was decent.
Mm-hmm.
Just based off of just kind of comparing it to like them trying to gather their feeding back from what I'm saying, their other movies or being gone for this long like length of time between with Deadpool. That was the last Marvel movie
Yeah.
for the main continuity or whatever. So, um, from for I guess for from then to now, I mean, it just feels like it was another classic little Marvel movie. I mean, there was some stuff that was kind of like um, I could have had a little less of and a little more of this or something like that. But other than that, I definitely probably would have gave this probably like a 7.5 or something like that. On a scale from 1 to 10, it definitely it showed us a lot of what we got during Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Mm-hmm.
and that was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that they're also too tying in other aspects. I probably Black Widow stuff. You know what I'm saying, with the little short girl or whatever
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Ruth Bat Seraph. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, they tied in the Hulk film from back in the early was that
That was
early
2008. Yeah, that was
2008. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
the one that
And
they couldn't do an actual sequel to because Paramount still owns the rights.
oh
It's
yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
The way that
yeah,
stuff is set up is it makes literally no sense. But yeah,
yeah. I,
you
I
can
like the
you
fact
can do
that
a
they
Hulk movie, but you can't do a Hulk movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah. As long as they kind of like just like how they brought back the Abomination, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying, for us and stuff. The way they did it and stuff is, I like, oh, okay, cool, cool.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, honestly though, when Falcon, or I said Falcon, Captain America, my bad.
Mm.
And Captain America said, yeah, there was a brain control situation going on, and
Oh yeah,
he was like, yeah, it seemed like what's the old black cap name again?
Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Yeah,
It seemed
Isaiah.
like Isaiah was what I'm saying, under some kind of like trigger word, just like an old friend of mine type stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
First thing I was thinking to myself was this feels like Winter Soldier as well. You know what I'm saying? Like the movie started feeling like Winter Soldier and Civil War. So it almost feels like two movies combined
Yeah.
that they already kind of did. So that's why I kind of, what I'm saying, took some points for me off at,
Okay.
what I'm saying, was the fact that it felt like that. Even though it wasn't, it didn't, they didn't mimic it. It kind of felt that way. Like, yeah, I've seen a
Okay.
brain control thing. Man, this
Yeah.
feels like Civil War. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay, so for me, I'll put it like this: I enjoyed the movie. I'll say, do you have to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier? No, you don't have to, but it's a good idea to watch it
yeah.
because there are characters in there that they don't waste time explaining. And I'm glad Marvel doesn't waste time anymore because everybody by
Hmm.
now you know. By now
Yeah.
you know if you choose not to get Disney Plus, that's on you. They you can't take points off. You can't take points off because you don't watch stuff. They've already told you, hey, look, this is how we doing stuff. So if you don't watch
Hmm.
this and we put a movie out, we're not wasting time trying to explain to you who these other people is. If
Yeah.
they've already been, you know, if they've
Introduced
already
in
been
a series
introduced.
somewhere.
Yeah. And I don't blame them for that because as a comic book reader, I know who these characters are, and I know people that don't read comics. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you probably should watch the show because it's gonna help you understand stuff when they actually do stuff. It
Mm-hmm.
just is. Whether you want to whether you want to jump on your cousin, uh, kind of not. That's on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just on you. But for me personally, I enjoyed what they did. I do have my own misgivings about some of the stuff they did in it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, though, I do think that is smart for like Captain America and Black Panther stuff like that. They do need to be uh, kind of like spy thrillers because that's the best genre
Mm.
to hit when you're doing those type of movies
Right.
because it makes everything make much more sense. And on top of that, those are characters that are more grounded in how they have to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do feel like from that perspective, I think they did a good job in that. I wish they had more stuff with Isaiah Bradley, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
because there is a thing like in there is a plot point in Falcon and Winter Soldier where Bucky goes to meet him and they're like, "Yeah, I remember you. I ripped your arm off in '53." I'm like, "Bruh, I
Yeah.
want to see a show with Isaiah Bradley, a young Isaiah Bradley."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I would
Definitely.
love to see. Like, it ain't got to be a movie, but I would love to see like a show where they actually address some of that stuff,
Yeah.
because that actually makes more sense. Now, with this, the the thing that I kind of didn't like was how they did leader Samuel Stearns. I They made him look
The
weird with
makeup.
the
Yeah.
they should have just did him like he is in the comics. In the comics, he has a long head because
Yeah.
when the gamma hit him, it expanded his brain, but it didn't expand it like that and made it look melty. It didn't do that. It just made his head. He had the biggest forehead in all of comics.
You know what they try to in my mind, you know what that reminded me of? Like how he looked is the black villain up in Invincible.
Yeah,
It was like they
that's
were trying to
exactly
go
how
for that look.
yeah, and they shouldn't have did that. They should have
Yeah.
just stuck to the comic book look because the comic book look actually makes more sense.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
be
it
honest,
does.
because yes, he is a genius on a level that pretty much makes no sense.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that idea. I love the actor that played him because he did a great job, dude. They made him feel threatening without being threatening. Because like, what do you do when he pretty much has taken the time and knows every probability of stuff happening?
Right.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
He's a human quantum computer. Like
Yeah.
that's weird.
That is weird, and that is a very big problem. I also love Harrison Ford in this. Harrison Ford did a good job as Thunderbolt.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah,
really
definitely.
did.
He
Like,
did.
I mean, cranky. Y'all make fun of him for being a cranky old man, but I'm like, dude, it actually worked.
Yeah, that's what Ross is supposed to be.
Yeah,
A
once
cranky old
again,
man.
if you read the comics, you already know this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what he's supposed to be. Now, getting to the point of contention where I have with people, I would say, claiming that this ain't Captain America. First of all, yeah, he is. If you go back and watch Winter Soldier and actually pay attention to Winter Soldier,
Mhm.
why was Steve mad at the end of Winter Soldier? Because Hydra had infiltrated the government.
Mhm.
If you watch Civil War, why was Steve not trusting of the government? Because Hydra, and they lied to him about Bucky. They
Yeah.
knew about Bucky and they lied to him. Those are two things from the comics that they kept for the live action. The other thing from the comic that pissed Steve Rogers off, was he found out about Isaiah. And when he found out about it, and the government kept that from him too, he got pissed off mad because he didn't know they were experimenting on black soldiers.
Right.
Steve Rogers never knew until he found Isaiah Bradley. And that's the other reason why he got pissed off. Steve Rogers has not been a patriotic Boy Scout since like the mid-90s, since like the Onslaught crossover, where the American government sent Sentinels after the Avengers and X-Men after they're trying to take down Onslaught, and they pretty much fired on the Avengers as well.
Mhm.
And Steve, that's the first time Steve got mad. Like, what are you doing? Like, I work with these people. We're trying to save everybody, and you just sent Sentinels after us, and we're trying to save the world. So there was things in place that Steve he was not trusting of the government. That's why, he said in in I think it was in Civil War. He's like, man, people have agendas, and the best hands are
Mm-hmm.
still ours because if we let other people tell us what to do, people have agendas, and that was
Yeah.
just the truth. So
Yeah.
when I hear people sit up and say, "Oh, he's not Captain America," how is he not Captain America? Steve Rogers gave him the shield. Y'all saw Infinity War. Y'all saw
Mm-hmm.
Endgame. You
Yeah.
saw it.
And he knew how to you know, recognize when he's being used or the government's hiding something
Yeah,
and be suspicious of. I mean, even though at first, you know what I'm saying, he was all trusting, like as far as like Ross being the president and inviting him to the White House, I don't think people also knew that in a sense he still was suspicious.
yeah. He knew
You know
better
what I'm
than
saying? He
Trump.
still had his like suspicions about it.
Ross was hunting them down for 2 years. So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was
You
like,
ain't gonna just up and trust somebody like that. Like
yeah,
he like let's face it, he's black. So we ain't finna just but like, yeah. Like we might seem like gee, but for real in the back of our mind, we like, all right, what you about to do?
yeah,
Why
basically.
why are we here?
Which is why a lot of those scenes actually make sense because you're like, yeah, Sam ain't stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all thinking Sam dumb. Sam ain't dumb.
Yeah.
Like, although I will say I did like the Bucky cameo. I did like that he showed up because at first I didn't think he was going to show up because
Yeah.
supposedly this was being filmed at the same time they were doing Thunderbolts. That's why
Thunderbolts.
Bucky wasn't
Yeah.
in it. So
Yeah.
that's why Sebastian Stan wasn't in this one. So they just had him come over and do the cameo. But I did like that he came in there. I did find it funny that if you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, Bucky ain't right. So in this, Bucky was like, "Yeah, man, you don't have to take that serum." When when Sam is fighting Red Hulk, he was like, "Man, Bucky lied. Bucky lied to me. I should have took that serum." Yes, you should have. Dude, you fighting the Hulk. What?
Yeah.
Yes, you should take that serum.
To Bucky's defense, Ross wasn't bulked up yet
Yeah,
at that point.
But it was just funny though. It was
But
funny.
still, yeah,
Like,
it was.
like, God dang it, Bucky, you still on that. still playing around setting people up.
Yeah.
I did enjoy like some of the comedy, like I said, it's not bad. And like I understand a little bit of why some people try to blame stuff on, you know, things being woke or DEI. First of all, understand something. If you haven't read the comics, please quietly take several seats and be quiet. Because whether you want to believe it or not, Sam Wilson has been Captain America since 2012.
Yep.
That's just the truth. If
Matter of fact, Isaiah Bradley's grandson is you know,
he's a young Avenger.
Yeah.
Because he
becomes like that was that under that protege underneath Captain the Sam Wilson cap.
Because he's basically he was conceived while, you know, having super serum coursing through the veins. So he was conceived as that. Like, you gotta understand, Isaiah Bradley had a son. Isaiah Bradley's son had a son. That's Elijah. Elijah, the reason why he was so gifted in every sport known to man, because he ain't really it's kind of cheating, but it's kind of not because it ain't his fault. But yeah. So that's another thing too. I wish they would have had him in there. Elijah. I kind of wish they would have had Elijah in there. But I think
because he was in the series, right?
Yeah, he was in the series. But I think they're saving that for when they actually do Young Avengers. That's what I think they're saving that. Which, you know, that'll make sense because if you ain't gonna do nothing with him, just hold off on him. If you're not gonna do no, but I kind of wish he would have been there a little bit, or at least
a cameo.
Yeah, at least a cameo.
Yeah.
I did like the way it ended. I know some people probably didn't. The fight with Red Hulk, I think, was the right choice because it was a 1v1.
Yeah.
And basically the way they did it, which once again, I love the way that Leader was the villain of the movie because he was like, he set the whole thing up. He set the whole thing. He's like, yeah, I'm going to turn him into a monster because he didn't uphold his end of the bargain. And he didn't. Ross was still Ross. That's why you don't trust him. Because he was supposed to let him out. and cure him of that gamma radiation. He upped the dosage, so in turn, Stearns
Mm-hmm.
gave him them pills which had gamma in it, which basically turned him into a Hulk.
Yeah. Which I in my mind I was like, Ross is pretty stupid.
He is.
Cause like, why would you know this is going up the dosage? You're upping the dosage in a brain that's showing you that he's getting smart. He was already, matter of fact, let's get back to the Hulk. He was already smart to begin with. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when you add like, you know what I'm saying, I guess superpowers to it and amplify it, and you keep doing that to him, like somewhere in there, doesn't it gonna ain't it gonna occur to you that he's going to turn on you? He's going to be pretty much unstoppable because he's gonna thought everything out before he, gets his plan going to kill you. Like like how stupid were you? Like,
It's a mix of being stupid and desperate because
yeah,
he was so desperate to get
the heart
Betty to
disease.
even talk to him.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
so desperate, and then on the fact that he almost died and Betty was still not talking to him, it kind of messed him up. So he was kind of, it was a mix of both stupid and desperate. Because if I don't keep my word to that dude who's already smart, by the way, like you said, he's already
Mm-hmm.
smart, and then you messed around and kept upping the doses of the thing that made him that way to begin with. Unless you got Reed Richards or Peter Parker on your side, you might not want to be doing this.
Right, right.
You know, you might just not want to be doing this. I thought that was just a mix of it, and I think like that's one of the other things that I did like about it. Is like, dude, it came to a head. One of the things that I like about Civil War and the Falcon and Winter Soldier is Zemo. Zemo in those presentations, it was like he was the best thing, one of the best things about it. And in
Mm-hmm.
this, I think Samuel Stern was one of the best things about it because of how he did. Like, dude, yeah, it's not a world-ending thing,
Mm-hmm.
but he's pissed off, and he has every right to be pissed off, just like Zemo did. But the way he going about it is messed up.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
definitely.
the way he's going about it. He's basically trying to start World War III to prove a point.
Yeah, yeah. Cause like just that in conflict, which was pretty cool. I actually like how they was fighting around
Adamantium.
not well yeah, that too, but
Yeah.
the celestial that popped up out of the
Oh,
sea
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that they're addressing that, even though they canceled the second, uh Immortals or whatever. Which I don't think I think eventually they might come out with something kind of finishing up that storyline,
Yeah. They're
just to
gonna
kind
have
of get us, yeah, because you brought Thanos' brother in there, you had the Black Knight in there, at the end or whatever. So I really feel like they're going to somehow close that storyline at least somehow. And plus, on top of that, I mean, you got to explain the Celestial. You introduce Celestials to us, and of course, we've already been introduced to a couple Celestials already. What's the one that scooped them up at the end? I think was
I can't remember his actual name, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And we're about to
him.
get the Purple Pimp. We're about to get Galactus. So
Yeah, yeah. We about to get we about to get Galactus. But you got Ego, and then you had Nowhere, which is a head, celestial head and stuff like that. Then you got the Earth. You got the thing coming about the Earth. So you got the Celestials all in there. So it's like you gotta kind of bring that back around, even though they're saying like their end game of this whole thing will be like the Secret War situation,
yeah.
which I don't know how much that has to do with going into the celestial situations and stuff like that. Oh, in the Thor we saw Eternity and stuff like we
Yeah.
saw so many celestial type stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's hard to like say that they're not gonna at least wrap up something on that. You know what I mean?
I think the idea is to use Secret Wars as a way to bring in everybody to one
Mm-hmm.
place. So
Mm.
I think the problem is they screwed up the multiverse stuff so much because everything was thrown off.
Yeah.
And to be fair, some of the writing on these other movies in phases 4 and 5 have been bad because they brought the wrong writers in that did not respect the material. So that
Right.
kind of messed up some of these, and some of this stuff. Like I will go back and I will die on this hill. Captain Marvel, the Marvels was not a bad movie. That's just being honest. It wasn't a bad movie.
No, it wasn't
a bad movie.
For what it was used for and what it was for, what it's meant for.
It was not a bad movie. The hate that movie got. Look, just say that you just don't like Brie Larson and call it a day. But that movie was not a bad movie. So I will say that. Now, Eternals, it was up and down. Like me personally, I don't even know why they did Eternals, because in all honesty, the Eternals books never did nothing.
Right.
They never did. So like I don't even know one good story that they did that people truthfully enjoyed. Now at the time, they didn't have X-Men. So I was thinking they was probably gonna try to use them as their X-Men. But once they got X-Men back, I'm like, bro, y'all probably should have just that. Should have just canceled. Should have just asked.
Did they get the X-Men when they were filming Eternals though?
No. They got it right before.
Right before, okay.
I think they got it like in the planning stages. Because remember, they got it right before they did. They got it while they were doing. What's that? The show that got canceled after half a season. The one with Medusa and Gorgon and Black Bolt and all them.
Oh yeah, the You know what's crazy is I was just about to say their names because the mutants, them, and the Celestial or whatever, or the Internals and stuff. They were
but I think that's what they were going to try to do. But
Inhumans.
Inhumans. That's what it was. Yeah, I think they were going to try to do that, but since they got it, once they got X-Men back, they didn't need them. So there's that. I mean, it is what it is. I think we're going to get more on the Celestial stuff in Fantastic Four this summer, because that's July. I think that's 2 weeks after Superman. Man, July's going to be packed. That's 2 weeks after Superman. So I think that's when we're going to get probably like either a kind of sort of wrap up to that or something else entirely. They'll probably try to do it in there. That's what I'm thinking, if they're going to do anything.
Right.
I don't particularly like how they using adamantium in this movie. Like it was like they found it off of that thing. I'm like, okay, yeah, but
how you gonna put in Wolverine now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How we gonna do Wolverine? So, because we all know what they're gonna do to Wolverine.
Yeah,
we all know. So it's jacked up what they do to Wolverine. Like, that is beyond jacked up. And if you don't know what they do to Wolverine, I think it's if you go on Disney Plus, watch the X-Men animated series. I think it's season 3. I want to say it's episode either 3 or 4. It's the Weapon X episode. It's with Wolverine, and they pretty much give you an idea of what they did to him. They put him in an unbearable amount of pain. Well, no, season 2. It's season 2, not season 3. Season 2, because that's the episode right before the Gambit episode. Yeah. Watch that. That's like a toned down version of what they did to Wolverine. So I'm like, yeah.
I mean, just watch the Fox films and stuff like that. Even though they were kind of, what I'm saying, they still kind of show you the gist of it.
Yeah, they showed you the gist of it. They didn't really. I think the animated series did a better job, but that's my own personal opinion. But I think that I think this is gonna be one of those movies that's gonna go down as like when it comes out on Disney Plus, when it comes out on Blu-ray and DVD, people are gonna watch it and then they're gonna be like, "Man, this was good. Why didn't y'all say so?" I'm like, "Nah, people were telling you stuff, and y'all just didn't want to hear it because your favorite reviewer said it was woke or this or that." I'm like, "Bro, you gotta start watching stuff with yourself."
Woke. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how it was woke. Like, what about it was woke?
Sam Wilson is black and Joaquin Torres is Latino. I mean, that's what they.
I mean, well, the same thing. Well, at that point, that's when we say this isn't a DEI hire. This is definitely what's been going on. I was like, if you want to, here's my point. Look at your curators of Marvel and your writers. they're all woke and they've been woke since the 80s and all this
Yeah,
other stuff.
dude.
Like literally, like who you think your favorite X-Men is? You know what I'm saying? Like who you think Magneto is? Man, that's Malcolm X. Like who
Whether
you
you want to
think
believe it or not.
Xavier is?
Whether you want to
That's
believe it or not.
Martin Luther King. Like they're
Yeah.
really that's who they are. Like
I
matter of
mean,
fact, the mutants are black. I don't want to say it like that, but that's they're a metaphor for that. You
they're
know
a
what I'm saying?
metaphor for civil rights. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like if you read the X-Men comics, they getting killed.
Yeah.
Like mutants are getting killed. Like
And
in the street.
discriminated against on
Yeah.
and all that, like spit
So
on all that.
So yeah, I mean that's why I was laughing when X-Men 97 was coming back and people were like, oh man, this better not be woke. I'm like, dude, did you even watch the original series? Like what you say is woke is what the series is. So either A, shut up and just watch it, or B, just go somewhere and hide your head in the sand or something. Because I don't know what else to tell you at this point. So that's
On top of that, think about this too. You got Marvel over at the biggest woke place ever. That was always woke. That was been woke since you were like it's supposed to be woke. You're supposed to bring the world together. Disney is a global company that's like worldly based. So yeah, it's you're gonna have all types of stuff. That's quote unquote. And you know, I actually yesterday I don't want to go on the rant, but yesterday I had a shout out to Noto and Nunami. We had our Nunami episode, and I was talking about continuity and the difference between continuity and canon and what that really means. And one of the situations I was saying is, canon is the word canon is being misused sometimes the same way woke is being misused. You know what I'm saying? The origin of where woke come from. So when you're saying woke, in my mind, to black people, we're thinking conscious community. We're thinking Hebrew Israelites, 5%ers, Muslims, and civil rights, black, you know what I'm saying, Black Panthers and stuff like that. But when America thinks about it, they're thinking about the feminists, the LGBTQ. They're thinking about the black people saying their stuff, but on some like the man is trying to hold us down. Like that's not woke,
that's
bro.
not woke means. Yeah. And it's I always find it funny that it be some of the most ignorant people trying to say that, and you're like, bro, wow, you're hella ignorant. Like you're hella ignorant.
They're asleep.
Yeah,
those people are asleep.
Yeah, like bro, you can't make, in the words of the late great Kevin Samuels, you can't make this up.
Yeah.
You can't make it up.
Can't make it up.
And like I said, from a movie going standpoint, if you loved Winter Soldier, I don't see why you wouldn't like this. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And on top
Winter
of that,
Soldier was more woke than anything.
Yeah, and on top of that,
Lord.
bro, it was only an hour and 50 minutes. They didn't even keep you in there that long.
Nope.
Normally, we 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours and 30.
Yeah, we in there for all day. We sitting there like church service.
Yeah, but no, they got you in and got you out, and it was paced well. So I'm like, what again are you mad at?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, he Sam Wilson ain't Captain America. Yeah, he is, dude. Whether you like it or not. Like I said, he's been Captain America since 2013, when they did Marvel Now. He's been Captain America.
And the argument is gonna be like, oh, where is he Captain America in the cartoons and da da da. It ain't about the cartoons, it's the comics.
First of all, if you talk about the cartoons, what cartoon has that the Avengers have had outside of, like, I think Avengers Assemble, that's been past three seasons?
Yeah, they had Avengers Assemble. They had about two Avengers cartoons.
Mm-hmm. Earth Mighty Heroes only lasted 2 seasons. Avengers Assemble, it technically lasted 5, but 2 of those seasons they did one-offs. They wouldn't even had the Avengers in it. One of them was Black Panther, and the other one was, the whole season was about Black Panther, and I forgot what.
It was about. Yeah.
So I'm like, they really only had 3 seasons, so
they
didn't have time to get to it. So, like I said, if we're gonna go by it. If you want to say you don't want to go by the movies by the comics because you don't read comics, fine. Then let's go by the movies. You watched Endgame. What happened at the end of Endgame?
Like, what you think? What Cap gonna come out of? Like, he's gone.
Yeah,
he's gone. Like what?
I'm so glad that Chris Evans has been like, I'm not coming back, and people keep trying to say he's coming. I'm not coming back.
He came back. All right.
But I'm like,
Blame on.
yeah, yeah, that threw everybody off. But like he's not coming back as Cap. Like you have a Cap, and people are mad, and I'm like, what are you mad about? Y'all like Anthony Mackie. Y'all like Anthony Mackie. Why are you mad? It ain't like they got somebody that couldn't act.
Right.
It'd be different.
Plus, I mean, you've been on this journey with Sam and Cap this whole time. Like after Captain America 1, where Sam was introduced, he's been with Cap this whole time.
The whole time.
He's been Robin this whole time. So you know, if anybody was to take this mantle, it should be him.
Yep. Oh, why wasn't it Bucky? Same reason why it wasn't in the comic. When they did it in the comics, they took the shield right off of him. Because Bucky has issues. He has mental issues. He's not gonna be able to do the job like he's supposed to do it.
I mean, eventually there's a point of time, a period where Bucky does become it, but I mean that's short lived.
That's short lived because he's crazy. I'm not trying to be mean about it, but he's crazy. He has mental issues. Dude, they messed his head up. That's like asking Punisher to be Captain America. Can you imagine Frank Castle as Captain America?
Man.
Bruh, you think it's gonna be a bloodbath. Like, dude, that's what you get with Bucky being that, because Bucky, he went through a lot. So I mean, he was never gonna get that shield anyway. So, and he shouldn't have it going by the story they've presented, because he has a lot of issues. Steve gave it to the person he thought would do the best job. He just so happens to be Clarence from the 8 Mile.
Yep.
So I don't know why y'all mad. Once again, you love Anthony Mackie, so why you mad? And before anybody bring up that interview he did at that Comic-Con, bro, he was actually talking about the character. The character of Captain America has not been a Boy Scout. I've been trying to tell people the character of Captain America has not been a Boy Scout since the mid-90s. I don't know where y'all got this idea that he's this all-American. If you want that, that's who John Walker is. And I'm gonna tell you right now, John Walker in the comics, they toned him down for the series for Falcon and Winter Soldier, because in the comics, that dude is racist, xenophobic. He hate everybody.
Yeah.
That's why I don't even know why in Falcon and Winter Soldier they gave him a black sidekick. I'm like, he would have never had a black sidekick.
Now that was the right there.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here like, once again, this goes back to, if you don't know about the lore, if you don't know about some stuff, maybe just watch it and make your own decision. I'll put it like that. Just watch it and make your own decision, because a lot of people don't make their own decision. They just listen to somebody else, and then when they actually finally watch it, they're like, man, this wasn't half bad. No, it wasn't.
Nope.
It really wasn't. So honestly, I once again, I enjoyed it. It does have its faults, to be sure. But I don't think it was a bad movie. Like you said, 7 out of 10, dude. Like it's a good film. I tell people, like, it's a great matinee. If you ain't got nothing to do on a Sunday afternoon, it's a great matinee to watch. Like I said, it's under 2 hours. When the last time we had a superhero action movie under 2 hours?
Exactly. Especially Marvel.
Especially Marvel, because Marvel be like, yep, add another 30 minutes, sir. It's already 2 hours and 15 minutes. Add another 30. So yeah, I'm like, nah, bro, just no, get us out the theater. I don't need to be in here all day. I gotta go to work tomorrow, so that kind of stuff. But yeah. I hope people, if you haven't had the chance to watch, I hope you do have a chance to go and experience, because like I said, I watched it in IMAX. The second time I went to watch it, it looks great in IMAX. The first time I watched it, I just watched it in regular theater, just because the IMAX theaters was full, and I don't like dealing with crowds of people in the movie theater. So I waited a couple weeks and went to watch it in IMAX when it wasn't that many people in there. So
hey, real quick. The lady that played Betty Ross, right?
Yep.
Was she really there? Because that looked almost CGI. I don't know why.
Yeah, that was Liv. That was Liv.
Okay.
That was Liv.
I was like, it looked like it was CGI for a minute, and then the way he was kind of like
I,
keeping her away from it, it was kind of like,
I kind of wish they would have just had her in the movie instead of the cameo.
yeah,
I kind of
okay,
wish they just would have had her in the movie because to
mm-hmm.
me, because it the way they framed that shot at the end, it
Mm-hmm.
did look like that. But you got to remember, when she came in, they had the camera from the cell point of view. So
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
seeing the glass film, and that's why it looks like that. But yeah, that was her because they did an interview with her after the movie came out because people didn't know she was in it. Like
yeah,
they did a good job of keeping that cameo secret. They did a
mm-hmm.
real good job because I didn't know she was gonna be in it. And usually
Yeah,
somebody would be saying something. They'd be like, "Oh, we saw Lil Tyler in Atlanta this weekend, and they're filming." That people would put two and two together.
right, right.
But they did a good job of keeping her out of it. And they talked to her like, "Yeah, she came in and did the scene and left." So I just wish they would have had more instead of just the one scene. I just wish they would have had her in there a little bit more.
Was
Um,
that our first time seeing like was it Rift or Raft or whatever that
that's the third time we've seen the raft. The first time we
like the outside of it?
Yeah, because the first time
Okay,
you saw the outside of the raft was in Civil War. But the other
okay,
time they
okay,
showed
yeah, yeah.
it, they showed from the inside view.
Okay, cool, cool, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Because I can only remember the inside view, for, when they go to the
had
cells of everybody locked up and all
yeah,
that.
yeah, and yeah, because they had Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch and what's it
Hmm.
called in there, and Cap came and broke him out,
Yeah, yeah.
which I thought was hilarious. And he just walked in there by himself. Broke them all out left. I'm like, yeah, they Steve. So yeah, but yeah, I really because I get people getting what quote unquote superhero fatigue, which I think is BS. A good movie is a good movie. I don't believe in superhero fatigue. I just if you want to watch something good, just a good movie is a good movie.
Yeah,
Um, I do think that some reviewers have ulterior motives, and I've learned that with like Deadpool and Wolverine when there were people saying that the movie had no soul. I'm like, that's the whole point of Logan being in there.
yeah.
Like, oh man, Deadpool talks too much. It's Deadpool. That's his character. He's not
Supposed to
supposed to
be
shut up.
right. It's
Like,
supposed to be a funny action.
yeah, that's he's basically what Looney Tunes would be if Looney Tunes was actually real and the people and they did it to real people.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Like, yeah.
100%.
But I don't.
Yeah.
But people would listen to somebody from IGN and they say that they hate the movie because this, and this, and then you go watch the movie, like, what are you talking about?
Hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's worth it. I'm waiting for them to put out with the when the Blu-rays out, so I can go and pre-order that
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah.
so I can add that to the collection. But yeah, I think it's one of those ones that I think is gonna probably wind up being like the Marvels, where people watch it when it hits streaming and they be like, man, this was a good movie. I'm like, yeah, because y'all listen to other people who have ulterior motives and agendas.
Yeah. And too, that's what and it's crazy, man. I know I'm plugging Nunami like a mug, but yeah, that's what kind of like Nunami's topic was about solo leveling because
Mm-hmm.
the latest episode or whatever. Uh, uh
Oh, people being
Little
mad
Yui,
about
yeah,
him crying over his mom. Like, it's his mom.
yeah, yeah. It's so it's like some people sit up here looking at reviews first or what they were saying
Yeah.
on social media and then hop on and watch the episode and then be like saying the same thing. And it's like you when you do that, you already got your mind made up that this is weak.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being, I don't know what to expect going into this. Let me see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Da,
With
da,
an
da.
open
And,
mind.
yeah,
Yeah.
with an open mind and open heart. And plus, on top of that, you're not reconsidering. This is why he's leveling up. This is the reason why
I
we're
mean,
even here in the first place.
they said it all throughout the first season. I'm
Yeah.
save my mother.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's the whole thing was for him to make them get them three ingredients to make that elixir to try and wake his mama up, and y'all got mad that he accomplished that.
I think what some people should have did though. They should have did like me, which is kind of crazy. But I didn't watch Solo Leveling until the second season actually came out, and it was already 3 episodes in the second season. And then I actually went back and watched the first season, binge watched it all the way up until what it is. I think it was like the 4th episode. So I have a better appreciation. It all runs into one for me. You know what I'm saying? It makes most sense. It seems like a continuation. And once you like have time off and forget about that, off of that first season and stuff like that, I think people, and you start the second season the way they John Wick style type stuff.
Oh
yeah, you start the second season off crazy. Then of course people start getting desensitized to the whole reason why we're even, doing this in the first place. Where if I watched it from the beginning all the way to a point that we're at now, and it's like, okay, no, that actually made that make sense, and if I can feel it. So if I was to say that I never watched any of it, and I watched it from the beginning all the way up to the point that is at now, I think that would have been a lot more emotional, definitely in my part, but for others, I think if they had that fresh take, which I'm not saying, you can, but if they had that fresh take and kept reminding themselves, like, he's doing this because his mom is sick, and it's because of these gates popping up that introduced this disease to the world, and that's why she's sick, this sleep disease or whatever like that. That's why she's sick. Like, it makes the whole meaning of that breaking down and crying and seeing your mom and stuff like who wouldn't want to, like, think if your mom is in a hospital and she's on her and she sleep, like she in a coma and you don't know if she's gonna wake, I would be super emotional if she wake up and be like, hey man, I'm doing all this stuff to try to get her, get some help for her and stuff like that. I would be super emotional.
Most people would. Most of the people complaining would.
Cause daddy wasn't there.
Yeah.
You see where daddy was.
Yeah, well, daddy was locked in the cage.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That daddy is look, his story is similar to a lot of 90s black kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, daddy locked up, mama sick. I got to go out and get it on these streets. And that's what he did.
Yeah. That's basically what he did. Yeah, so I read some of those and I'm like, bro, that's the whole reason why at that point, I just started ignoring those types of people because I'm like, you're just complaining to complain at that point.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yep.
Because there's
and that's how I look at the criticism with Winter. Because what's crazy? I was hearing it during Falcon and Winter Soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's gonna be a new Cap. He's gonna be. And there was some people hating on that. They didn't hate on the series, but they hated the fact that he was about to be the new Cap.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Like, why? Like you were on this journey with him this whole time. Like you love when he showed up, Cap to your left, and he threw. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the most famous line. You know what I'm saying? In Avenger stuff, like Cap to your left, and coming through the portals and stuff, and all the. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why I said, like, you love Anthony Mackie. Why you mad now?
Oh, because they found out he was Papa Doc.
Basically, yeah. Pretty much. Clarence. Clarence. Like, bro, man. Yeah. It's a movie I think you should see, especially if you are a Marvel fan or you are a fan of like spy thrillers or something like that. You can watch it and have a good time.
Definitely.
That's my whole point. I'm just, it's one of those situations where you kind of get, especially like somebody like me who grew up reading comics and got bullied for it, to see people turn around and try to act like they've been reading from and they haven't, and then they try to force their opinion on people, saying that, oh, just because this person is now and it's not Steve Rogers, oh, it's somehow worse. I'm like, what you gonna do when Miles Morales gets introduced?
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
You know what? This is what I would want to say to people. If they don't have the time to read comics, or they, what I'm saying, they feel like it's too late or something, but you're a YouTuber and you're watching YouTube videos and you're watching YouTubers that don't read comics either, but you're taking their opinions and stuff like that, please go to the YouTubers that are actually explaining comics, such as Comics Explain.
Yeah, yeah.
They can break
break
something
down
down
stuff.
and yeah, and it won't be that long.
Mm-mm.
10 minutes, maybe not even that. You know what I'm saying? They can break down a whole, they got playlists. You can read it or listen to it at your time, you know what I'm saying? And see what different continuities are. They're breaking down a lot of the comics. A lot of it is uh, like recent comics, but they still kind of go back and talk about the history of, or this is how it was in the 90s run. This is the storyline there. So this is what brings us here now. You know what I'm saying? They kind of took this and you know what I'm saying? So they break it down. So please do you just like I was saying yesterday on Unami, as far as continuity and other stuff. Please guys, do y'all research before y'all start listening to somebody on YouTube or social media about, saying a review of a movie or something like that. Please do your own research and watch it for yourself.
Yeah.
Without anybody else's opinion in your mind, in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Because once you have that in there, it's going to ruin it for you. And yeah, you're going to be another person that's saying, "Oh, I didn't like it,"
and you ain't even watch it.
Right. Like honestly, like that Captain America, like we already know the emotional stuff we got during Winter Soldier for as far as Sam. We still had some emotional times, but I think this time around we had more of emotional time for Ross. I feel bad for Ross. You know what I'm saying? Not seeing Betty this whole time.
Yeah.
And him doing this whole thing for that.
Yeah,
I felt for
they did a good job of representing that time frame of like he has literally been trying to talk to her and she will not talk to him.
Yeah. Yep. I want her to show up with Bruce now.
That's what I want. Cause I'm like, bruh, yeah.
That was funny, like, you look different.
Yeah, basically. But unwarranted hate. But that's been happening a lot with a lot of these the Marvel stuff because people was hating on Wakanda Forever. So I'm like, okay. That's why I was like, because I know I got into an argument with somebody I worked with, and I'm like, and then I found out he didn't even watch the movie. So I'm like, bro, why am I even trying to talk to you?
Right.
So yeah, like you quick to voice an opinion, and you're dead wrong, but you refuse to watch the stuff that you arguing about.
Yeah, yeah. I think the only thing I was mad about was they killed Mama. You know what I'm saying? They killed Angela Bassett, but it was a noble sacrifice.
Yeah, the way they did it made sense, but I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I didn't like it. And yes, Angela Bassett was robbed at Oscar. She should have got Best Supporting Actress. Nobody outacted her that year. Nobody.
To be honest, a lot of her roles, like when she played Michael Jackson Mama.
Yeah, when she played Betty Shabazz and Malcolm. When she played,
that too. Yeah.
Michael Jackson Mama. When she played
she played Tina.
Yeah, Tina. She played Tina. Like, don't tell me Angela Bassett can't act. But
and she would have played a good Storm.
Oh yeah.
You know what they should get at to now?
I despise Fox for that. What?
they should get at to Kiki now.
Kiki who?
Kiki Palmer.
No.
They should do that.
Nope.
Because like she can definitely act like she can do her little impersonations of Angela, but there's certain lights I've been seeing her lately in. I'm like,
I would rather
she might be able to.
I would rather them actually get a woman from Africa, personally.
True. Yeah.
I would because personally, I wanted them to get Lupita Nyong'o because she's actually Kenyan and in the comic world is Kenyan, but she's in Black Panther, so we can't do that. So I'm like, I would actually.
They can use a. They went to the multiverse, so they can just swap around real quick.
And the way you get away with it, have Deadpool introduce it like that, and nobody have a problem with it. Deadpool, what are you doing? I just grabbed Storm. Like, just have, Hey, that's how I get away with it. Dope. Just nobody get nobody even blink an eye if that happened. Nobody even bat an eye like, yeah, that's something Deadpool would do. Yeah, that's something Deadpool would do. Why was Thor crying? Why was Thor crying? Somebody tell me why was Thor crying? Like, bro.
Or the lady that played Monica Rambeau's mom, she could have played Storm. I was looking at her on like somebody's concept art as Storm, and I was like, wow, I didn't think about that.
Because there have been a lot of like concept art that came out where people was just thinking of who could play it, and I'm like, they've come up with some lot of actors that I'm like, yeah, that would actually work. But me personally, I would just hope they would get somebody from actual Africa.
Yeah, true. Most likely, it'll be like anybody else. It'll be a real African, but they lived in London.
Or something, they've learned they honed their craft with the Royal Theatre.
Yeah, they start talking like this. Like, oh man, hold on, what's that accent? No.
Here we go again. I did not know Idris Elba was not from Baltimore. Like, it was one of those situations.
Hey, but you know what's crazy? He said the craziest thing when I heard like one of his interviews about the accent.
Yeah.
For The Wire, he was like, if you listen to a Baltimore's accent, it's the closest thing to our accent. So it was easy for me to pick it up. I was like, oh my God.
Now that you say that. That kind of, yeah.
That is crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, dude. That threw everybody off when they first heard that first interview with Idris.
Yeah, like, hold on,
he from Baltimore. No, dude from
I was like, wait a minute, you're not American?
No. So yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah, that was a funny interview. But all right, B. So that's gonna do it for this episode. I just want to do a quick Let's Talk Live today. Vito, thank you for coming through. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I do plan on doing a live stream a little later on today. I don't know what I'm gonna be playing, but check it out. I'll put something in the Discord a little later. I need to make up my mind what I want to play, but it'll probably be a little bit later on this afternoon. So check back, and should see me sometime soon. Vito, anything you want to pimp out?
Yeah, tonight at 7, the Sandstorm show. I don't know what we're discussing. I may or may not be there. I have some family in town, but that's the family. That's the other channel for me. So definitely stay tuned for that or log into that at 7 p.m. tonight. Sandstorm show.
All righty. And we got the Winging the Podcast tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Chat will be open. We're going to be freestyling. So come through and ask your questions if you got any. We'll be answering them. So see y'all tomorrow. Peace out, people.
Peace.